Hey, air signs. Welcome to your weekly tarot session. This is a reading for all air signs: Aries, Libra, and Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Before we begin, I pray for blessings and protection over this reading and for all who partake. I pray that I be a clear channel for divine messages delivered in service to the highest good for all and for always. I pray that this session amplify the energy of joy, peace, prosperity, and love in the lives of any and all who gather here. Amen. Ashe. It is so let it be. All right. Air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. We're going to see what your overall theme is for the week. And then we're going to pull cards for each of the sun signs specifically. So we'll do an overall air sign energy as well as specific cards for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. So I'm shuffling the cards a few more times here. One more. Okay, that feels good. I do want to cut the deck just once. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man. So this could be a week. I'm getting that this might be the past. I'm getting that you have already been in sort of a holding pattern when it comes to something. You've already been at a crossroads and you've taken some time. You've paused, you've reflected. Things have not been progressing at a rate or at a speed that you would have ideally liked or preferred. But I'm getting that you've kind of taken it in stride, air signs. And I'll pull the cards to see if this is coming to an end, if this is nearing an end, or if there's going to be more of this sort of waiting area, waiting room kind of energy. That's what I get with the Hanged Man here. But also, this could be in that period of waiting, in that pause for reflection in particular. There could be a period of enlightenment as well, an opportunity to gain a new perspective or greater insights. Now you're showing up with the Ace of Pentacles. This is beautiful. Ace of Pentacles is one of my favorite cards. So what it tells me is, one, there could be a financial upswing. So that Hanged Man energy could have been related to finances or property matters or something practical, material, business, career-wise, or even health-wise, especially with the Pentacles. And I'm also getting that it could be related to self-esteem. For me, the Pentacles often reflect like that sense of feeling enough. So this is reinvigoration. This is like a new opportunity, a new course of action. And so it could have been in gestation, a gestational period where it's incubating, right? It's been incubating for a long time. And I think you're going to see the first sprouts, the first little buds of the tree or the leaves or the flower kind of coming up from the earth, where you see the little green sprouts sprouting up, or the little peak of cherry blossoms coming through in the week ahead, right? And the Ace of Pentacles is not just about like what you see, but with it being your energy in particular, you are laying that solid foundation for something and really nurturing, really getting something off to a good solid start. So whatever it is for you specifically, you're getting it off to a really good solid start this week. And part of your ability to have a solid, prosperous start is because you waited. It's because you were in that gestational incubation period, so that when it comes to fruition, it's really ready to do that. Now, what's crossing that is the Nine of Wands. And so, yeah, this has been a period of waiting. The Nine of Wands can sometimes be the Wounded Warrior card. And so it's been a hard road. It's been difficult. That Hanged Man energy, the waiting period has not been an easy one. You might have had a lot of setbacks, a lot of stumbling blocks, even a lot of opposition, possibly competition. There's some form of struggle that's happened with this Nine of Wands. And so by the time, I'm laughing a little bit, air signs, by the time this thing finally comes to pass, you might be so exhausted that you need to take a nap, right? It's like, oh, well, I'm glad we're finally here at the starting line or the finish line. But before I go even any further, I just need to like go home and take a nap, go to bed, right? So there's been some but the Nine of Wands is also the need to persist, which is why I think you're coming out of that Hanged Man energy So you're still going to see the shadow of it. You're still going to, it's almost like being in the shadow period of a retrograde, right? Where things are technically moving forward, but there's still a little bit of debris. There's still some shrapnel, some residue from the retrograde period. So the Nine of Wands says you're almost there. Persevere, persist. You just have one more leg, a final stretch. If you ever ran track and field, it's like the final kick towards the finish line there. And you have again, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it is sunlight, not a train. Now let's pull for each of the individual sun signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. I'm going to use the Frida Kahlo deck for each of the sun signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, to see how this theme will apply to each of you specifically. In the week ahead. All right, that feels good. Bottom of this deck, we have the Knave of Pentacles. So that is you at work. That's you hard at work, diligently working towards this thing that's been incubating, that's been gestating, that's been sort of on hold. You've still been working on it or working towards it, even though it hasn't been ready to like launch yet. For Geminis this week, you have the Six of Swords. This is really right in line with what I'm saying. Like, it's been a hard road. It's been difficult. Things have been stagnant. Things have not been going your way. And so this week, things start to go your way. The ship starts to turn around here, and you're able to put some of those difficult experiences behind you. And so I think you're far enough along, you're close enough to coming out of that tunnel that even though you're not fully out of it yet, you start to feel some relief. You start to feel you're close enough to the finish line, aka starting line, that you're like, okay, I see that things are getting better, right? Things are on an upswing. So you feel the pendulum starting to swing back for you towards a more relaxed, a more tranquil, easy time. Okay. For Libras this week, you have the Judgment card. This is pretty significant. It's the only major arcana here so far, I think. No, because we have the Hanged Man. Okay. So the Judgment card, this for you could have been something that was delayed for years for Libras. The Judgment is that far past energy. It's like a seed you planted a decade ago even, or 20 years ago. And you never really let it go. You always held on to that, like, oh, I think I'm meant to do that. And so there's something about this week ahead where you're saying, I think I'm going to actually give myself a shot to restart this. And the Judgment card is also clearing the decks, clearing the slate. You're giving yourself a clean slate, and it's coming right under this Nine of Wands. And so what this tells me is that you're able to free yourself from whatever the wounds and the pain and the trauma of this building was, right? And I'm thinking about like running for office. The political races can be pretty down and dirty, and you might be traumatized. You might have been like hit with all kinds of political attacks and attack ads and people trying to smear your name and things like that. And this week, because you win the election or because you get the raise or you get the promotion, you're able to say, whew, all the enemies, all the trolls, all of it, I'm ready to put it behind me and like just move into this beautiful, bright new chapter that I'm really dedicated to and serious about. And lastly, for Aquarius this week, you have the Hierophant. Okay. So this is one letting me know that you're really, really dedicated to something. And part of what the holdup was, part of what the stumbling blocks or the challenges were, might have been institutional in some way. So there could have been like bureaucratic red tape or some kind of hierarchical process that you've had to navigate through or move through. And this week, it's almost like you get the keys to the kingdom, so to speak. And if it's not like a literal institution, then it is your own system of beliefs, your own system of ideas that is you're starting to see the fruits of that. You're starting to see the fruits of what you've been committed to. You're starting to see the fruits of what you've been adhered to, or like what's established in your life, both your system of beliefs and your personal philosophy, but as well as your personal systems and your habits and your routines and the places that you go to worship regularly and the banks that you use. Like, there's something about the structure and organization of your internal and external environment that you're seeing the turnover of it. You're starting to see the revolution of that. That's what I have for you, air signs. Be sure to watch for your sun, moon, and rising sign, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Take care and much love.